Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast. I am Kemi Foladiemo this morning with Theophilus Elama.
Good morning.
How are you doing? Good morning. And how was your weekend?
My weekend was eventful, workful, but we tried to, in between catch some me time and all of that. But it was quite eventful, and we thank God for everything. Of course.
Absolutely.
How was your weekend?
Absolutely. Well, weekends don't seem to be enough.
Yes,
me time. The me time that is that you talked about. I crave for that weekend where I get that me time that I deserve. But like you say, it's good to be alive. It's a good, day here. It's also a full day, as usual, on the show this morning. We're starting off with this one for Muslim faithful, as today Muslims in Nigeria will join their counterparts from across the world for the commencement of Ramadan. And this comes as the Sultan of Sokoto, Abubakar III, announced the sighting of the crescent of Ramadan, which signals the beginning of fasting. Well, the Sultan made this announcement at his palace in Sokoto after receiving and verifying reports of moon sighting across the country. He appealed to Muslims to pray for God's intervention in the country.
The reports of positive moon sighting were received from Muslim leaders and organizations across the country, which we duly accepted. Consequently, tomorrow, Monday, the 11th day of March 2024, becomes the first day of Ramadan 1445 after the Hijrah. We therefore call on all Muslims in the country to commence fasting accordingly. We call on all Muslims to use the glorious month of Ramadan for extra prayers for our leaders and our country, Nigeria, and for more dedication to the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Well, we wish all Muslim faithful in Nigeria and beyond the blessings that come with this holy month. And it's an annual ritual. It also culminates this time around with the Lenten season. Christians, especially from the Orthodox churches, are also like in the middle of, the Lenten season too. In a few weeks from now, we'll be talking about Easter celebrations and the like. But for this Ramadan fast, it of course calls for a lot of piety at this time, abstaining from essentials, food, water, and the like. They, of course, kick off just preparing for work. Most of the time, I'm always, conscious of the fact that I'm one of the very few persons, in fact, the only one that is awake at that time, getting ready for work, for the show. But it struck me this morning when I started hearing pots clanging. I was first surprised that, okay, I have somebody in my shoes, and then it occurred to me that, yes, Ramadan has started, and, and then, of course, I started hearing the chanting from the mosques, calling the faithful to come and pray. So this is a period that, many of us, non-Muslims though, but then we are somewhat familiar with the rituals, at least from a distance, with the rituals, and it comes with so much expectations, and we hope for a peaceful Ramadan season in Nigeria.
We do sincerely hope for that, and of course, this is a period where we have to be tolerant of one another, and it calls for peaceful coexistence amongst everybody, because this month of Ramadan, like you have said earlier, it's a period where we have to understand that we all deserve to be together and to coexist within ourselves. Of course, it's significant that we're having Ramadan in the middle of the Lenten season. It shows that despite the fact that we have religious beliefs, we are still one as a people, one as a nation. And I do believe that this Ramadan season will open a new vista of opportunities for Nigeria and Nigerians, such that before we are done, we should be experiencing some form of economic prosperity and boom in the country, and of course some levels where we understand that we as a nation, we are a people that will ensure that this nation becomes great.
Absolutely, and it's a month-long period.
It is.
The expectation is also that you know, the piety, the holiness, the denials that come with you know, this period will also transcend beyond the period that we live more with that consciousness, as you have said, religious tolerance. You've also spoken about you know, peace. Really, that we live with that consciousness that, you know, our Creator God expects us not just to be pious at this time or at times of you know, Lent or Ramadan, but even to take it further and live consciously. Let that be your lifestyle.
Mindset every time.
Absolutely.
Live consciously. Let's be peaceful with one another,
right,
and take it beyond the Ramadan and the Lenten season.
Right. And I also recall, you know, days before we're talking about a particular cleric that was urging that food items be made affordable at this time, urging sellers not to, you know, spike prices because of, you know, the notion that people, you know, always talk about that Ramadan season always comes with heightened prices in food, and already that, you know, in the country many are grappling with soaring prices, and you know, now that the Ramadan fast has started, we also hope for a miracle in that regard that will work.
Won't it be sweeter if we at this point say like a bag of rice for about maybe 30,000?
All right. Okay. Amen. Amen. From your lips to God's ears.
Yeah.
At least something that will be in line with efforts by government to, you know, bring down these soaring prices. So, of course, we're looking forward to some very good news in that regard, as well as in other areas. Once again, Ramadan Kareem to all Muslim faithful. Right, let's bring you some more news at this time.